Safe. All right, let's talk about Mario Super Picross. Okay, I'll go first this time. So speaking as someone who I mentioned before we started that who has dabbled in Picross but never got really far. Again, your tips really helped me start eliminating more of the stuff that it couldn't be and made me a little better. So that was awesome. And on the back of that, a Picross game is a Picross game. And on that, if we're just talking about it in pure Picross format, yeah, this game holds up because it's just another Picross game. But here's a few things that I do appreciate about this one. So first off, it's Mario's Picross game, so you have like the colorful Mario characters. Because of course the game plays on the Picross itself. Mario and Wario like really well animated when they appear in like those cutscenes there. I was enjoying the music that's like perfectly calming as you're going through the levels. I think the biggest takeaway from this is like the fact that you can do this 2-player. Great. Is there any Picross game that you know of that has given you the option to do that 2-player like that?
No, honestly, I've never seen it before.
Okay,
There might be
so
one, but I've never heard of it.
well, yeah, okay, but like it's okay. So we don't know for sure, but it seems likely that this is like pretty unique to this game. And for that reason alone, if you enjoy Picross, and you know another person that likes Picross or doesn't know, this is awesome because then you can work together on the puzzle, and that's
Yeah, it's
freaking
great.
awesome. That's freaking awesome. When I found that, like we didn't know going into this that I had a 2-player mode. My game plan was literally gonna be, I'm having trouble figuring out the puzzle. I was gonna pass it to you, and then if you had trouble, you would pass it to me, and we would go from there. Then we found out I had a 2-player mode. We were just literally working on the puzzle together, and that was just so much fun. We played this a lot longer than I was expecting to, and for that reason
Yeah, me
alone.
too.
And like what I was saying at the beginning is like, again, this is a Super Famicom game. It is not localized at all. Like the Japanese language still remembers very much the Japanese language. And if you're coming from the perspective of someone who would come to this game by themselves, I would not recommend this to be your first Picross game if you're playing by yourself. If you are a new Picross player but want to give this game a try, I would highly recommend you find a Picross expert that can like kind of take you under their wing as you're going through, and then you can have fun that way, learning. Kind of like I did. I'm not a Picross newbie by any means, but I'm not as experienced as Gray, so he was helping me kind of like get better at the game as we were going forward. And now I think he's still better than me by a long shot. But near the end, I was starting to figure out stuff a little bit quicker. It's like, oh, okay, then this and this means that. Cool,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Like, and this game definitely holds up as a Picross game, but even more so knowing that it does have that 2-player mode. That if you're an expert Picross player, you can either, if you can play by yourself or play with another person, or even if you've never played. Again, I do not recommend playing this by yourself if you never play Picross unless you can read Japanese, because the tutorial will not
Yeah.
help you. But if you do play with somebody else, then it can be a good entry point as long as you know someone that's really good at like kind of showing you the ropes. What do you think, Ray?
Yeah,
Thoughts?
it's I mean, it's hard to say because Picross is such like a classic game where like it's like Tetris where it's never really different. It's Picross is Picross. All you
Mm-hmm.
can really change like the presentation or like the UI and stuff. When it comes down to it, it's just a really good Picross game. But like you said, if you're someone who's like not familiar with the that sort of puzzle game, I would recommend trying out a more modern game because not only will it have tutorials that you can read, but there are likely to be like tips or like sometimes you can like cheat a little bit, but your score will go down. Like I know at least Murder by Numbers, you can if you're struggling, which happens to me a lot, you can press a button and get a hint, but it just reduces your like overall total of the score, which I don't really care about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this game doesn't have that kind of stuff, I think. So if
Yeah,
you don't
see,
know Japanese, it's kind of
it's
like hard to just jump in unless you have prior experience. But
exactly. There's,
yeah,
the biggest obstacle I could see was like, if you want real bragging rights, this game again it doesn't have a score system, but there is a timing system. So the best you could do is like if you really care about that kind of stuff, you could compare times to how quickly you solve the puzzle, and if that means anything to you. But more or less, it doesn't really have a scoring system. So again, barring the Japanese language, if you're not fluent in Japanese, this would actually be a pretty good entry point. But again, if you are completely fresh, find an expert to team up, or someone who's just really good at it. Because maybe neither of us would be considered experts, but Greysun is really good, and I'm okay. So it kind of balanced out to us managing to do pretty good at this game. And there was more features in this than we thought we were going in. We expected here's just a list of Picross puzzles. We finished level 1, and then Wario popped up, and now there's like an entire like almost second campaign, which I guess assuming harder puzzles, where the score is going up. I have to research that a little bit to see like what the real difference is besides the timing going up and all that kind of stuff, and also see what those cutscenes meant. I just really want to see how. But it's Picross, man. If you like Picross, you'll enjoy this game. If you've never tried, find someone. But if you do like Picross, and find someone to play this with, because that's what really, really makes this game stand out. The fact that you can work puzzles together. I had infinitely more fun playing this than I've ever had playing a Picross game, just because we were working together doing it.
It's super relaxing.
Yeah. It's very relaxing.
Collaborative.
Yeah.
So it's not a multiplayer game that you would end up like arguing with your partner or something. It's really like, even if you're not skilled, like you said, like varying degrees of experience, I think it's still fun for anyone to play, because you can just kind of you get the hang of it as you go along. And I think this game also does a great job of just like introducing you to the levels, because it starts off really easy and then it kind of ramps up a little bit. So it doesn't just like throw these hard, terrifying puzzles in your face. It kind of lets you warm up a little bit, which I like.
I do appreciate that a lot. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Mario Super Picross definitely holds up. Like you really can't go wrong with a Picross game. Honestly, they like, you know, obviously as you go further, the graphics get better, but the core gameplay is always there, and you know it's something that you really can't go wrong on. And again, that multiplayer is just really what makes it stand out for me. It's what I'm most thinking about, and it's the reason why. Great, I want to keep playing this. Like you and I, like, let me know when you want to play. If I'm free, we can solve some puzzles.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'd like that. And, you know, that's a mark of a good game when you come out of it. Like, you know, there's a lot of games where I say, yeah, it does hold up. It's not for me, but I think the quality still holds up. I think that's a mark of a really good game when you come out of it saying you actually do want to play more.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I definitely feel bad about about this one. So I definitely want to see what other tough puzzles are in there. I wonder, do you think the grids get any bigger than they already did?
Maybe they could go up to like 15, I think, in some games. Like 15 across or wide. So maybe I don't know, because it's like what, there's like 12 levels each like stage.
Sure.
So
Yes.
36 times 2. There's like 70-ish levels, I guess, which is a good amount. I think.
Yeah.
Not
So
too
I
bad.
thought going in that, you know, 12 each would mean there'd be 48 levels. You have the Mario ones, but then there's also the Wario Super Picross levels, so that doubles that. So now we're looking at like 90-ish like levels. So that's a lot. Wait, did it say that in the screen? Let me look at the details one more time.
No, I don't think it said the amount.
No, it didn't. Damn, we ended up playing this like 50 minutes. That's awesome. That's pretty
Really,
cool.
it didn't even feel like that long of a time.
It didn't. We were just so engrossed in the puzzle that time just kept going. But anyway, that's our thoughts on Mario Super Picross. I'm so happy that ended up being a lot of fun. Like, that multiplayer mode, man, this is what really just put it up for me.
Game changer right there.
It's honestly a game changer.